Hi y'all, she was 7. I'm back. So I have to do this vlog while I drive, so please forgive me. Diaries of a Former Mortician, vlog 17. Okay? And she's heard them all, so don't even worry about her. She's in the back seat. I won't go into too much bad things when she's around, but like a lot of people are asking me, well, how much does mortuary school cost, and how long do you have to go, and what are the requirements, and how long does it, take to get licensed fully? So I'm going to go ahead and answer all those technical questions for you. When I went to mortuary school a long time ago, it was like 2000 or 1999 through 2001 or 2000. Yeah. It usually takes 2 years if you have not had any previous college. But if you've already gotten like some of your basic classes out of the way in college, it can take less than like a year. It can take a year, but if you haven't gone to any college, it will take 2 years to complete. So it's not that long, and the classes usually are from like 8 until about 2 o'clock, Monday through Friday. The school that I went to, which was the Commonwealth Institute of Funeral Service in Houston, Texas. And there's clinicals that you must complete in order to graduate, which I think it's like 10 clinicals. I'm not sure. I forgot, but you have to do a certain amount of clinicals, which are embalmings. And they usually do them in groups, so you're not by yourself. First of all, you're with an instructor, and then you are with like probably 4 or 5 other students who work on different parts of the body. And then you have to pass a state exam, funeral law exam. You have to know all the laws pertaining to the funeral industry, and you have to pass that in order to get your license. Then there's another funeral directing test that you have to pass to get out of the whole school, and that's a pretty long test, and it involves science, it involves law, it involves everything that you've learned. It's like a combination of everything you learned in 2 years, and you have to pass it. It's kind of like passing the bar if you're a lawyer. And you do have to pay to take those tests. But it's pretty cheap. It's like, I think when I took it, it was like $40 to take one of them. So it's not that expensive. Then, I think the salary that like an average mortician would get paid, it's not very, very, very high. It depends on the funeral home you work at. But like the starting out would probably be close to around 40, 35 to 40. I don't know if it's gone up since I've last checked. But yeah, now like people are finding different ways to get into the funeral industry. Like you don't necessarily have to be an embalmer or a funeral director. You can be, makeup artist, hairdresser. A lot of like people in technology are now designing software to handle the funeral business, like management systems. And they like have funeral consultants. So like there's lots of ways you can get into the funeral industry if you don't want to go that route. But you will still be around like the funeral home. So as also if you decide that you want to go to the funeral business, a lot of people are more curious about the funeral industry because they've lost someone, like someone has died that was close to them, and they just want to know every aspect of what they went through. A lot of times they don't stick with the funeral industry, or they quit school before they're done because it wasn't really their true passion. So if you're one of those people, I suggest that you just watch a bunch of videos, watch a bunch of embalming videos, watch you know, a lot of stuff like that. There was a reality show about the funeral industry. So get it out of your system. Don't enter into something that you really don't have a passion about, because you'll later regret wasting your time and money. I know a lot of people that did that I went to school with. I think in the beginning there were about 500 students, and in the end I think only 30 graduated. So it has to really be your passion, you know. If not, don't even worry about it. Just, you know, watch videos and stuff to get it out of your system. And if you really want to do that for a living, like before you commit to going to school, you should go to wherever your local mortuary college is and ask to sit through a clinical to see that if you will be able to stomach working with dead people. Because sometimes when it comes down to it, you know, they get there and they can't even bring themselves to, you know, cut on a dead person, and they end up dropping out like a week later after they enrolled. So you should kind of ask if you are, you know, if you can do that, or your local medical school or might let you go and look around and look at some cadavers to see if you want to, you know, if you can work with the dead. So I suggest you do all of that before you even attempt, because sometimes, like, you think it's cool, you think it's like neat or morbid or something, but then when you get close up to it, you don't even want to have anything to do with it because it's so surreal. Like, and especially when you get a child or an adult that looks like, you know, someone that you know, like a parent or a sister or a brother, you never know, you know. And dealing with it every day for 6 days a week, 12 hours a day, it's not really something that you want to get into if you're not passionate about. And there's a lot of paperwork and legal documents involved. There's a lot of going, you know, different places and hospitals, and it's just a lot of work. So if you want to work hard, if you can stomach working with dead people, if you can stand the stench of death, if you can touch a hand of a dead person and not react to the cold clamminess of it, if you can cut open a small incision in the neck of a little old lady with no, you know, clenching, then yeah, go ahead. I would suggest that you go ahead and try it out. And ooh, Sash, do you want to eat? I forgot to take you to eat. Okay, well, I will finish the technical part of, you know, the funeral industry later. But just remember, like, if you can't stand washing meat, if you can't stand touching raw meat or chicken or beef, then you're not going to be a very good mortician. Because, like, this is funny. Right after I quit being a mortician, my next career choice was to go to culinary arts school. And one of the jobs that they would give me was cutting the meat. Like, they would give you a carcass of an animal, like a cow or a pig or like a whole fish, and they want you to gut it, cut steaks, cut ribs, cut all of that stuff. And they're like, let her do it. She was a former mortician. She likes doing stuff like that. So that would always get, like, the meat job. And I'm like, why are y'all giving me this? This is a man's job. Because usually the man would do it and not the woman. But since a lot of men were kind of like this is like cutting up a body. This is like cutting up a body. They were like, well, you go ahead and do it. You're used to it. And they would just joke around, and they were like, okay, you do it then. I was like, okay. And I would take my time because, you know, that's less work for me, right? Okay, well, anyway, I'm going to sign off on this. Oh, Speed bump. I'm going to sign off on this video of Diaries of a Former Mortician Vlog 17. If you have any more questions, go ahead and ask me, and I will try to get them in the next video. If I didn't get to your question this time, I'm sorry. I will try to get it in the next one.